Hello, and welcome back. We are back again. Welcome to the Antifreeze Podcast. I got my two co-hosts with me again.
Miss T.
And Denzel.
And I'm Mickey22, and this is episode 2 of the Antifreeze Podcast. Welcome back. Thank y'all for the great comments on the last video. Thank y'all. And we're gonna go ahead and go into our first topic. What is that first topic today, T?
Well, our first topic of the day is should Marvel take a break from making the awesome movies that they have made?
And yes, Marvel has been making a lot of great movies over the past about over a little bit of a decade or so, because we all know they got that big break with Iron Man 1 with Robert Downey Jr. and they just been making history ever since. But after they finished Endgame, it seems that they've been having a few hiccups. So what do y'all think about that?
Honestly, honestly, in my opinion, I love Marvel. Don't get me wrong. I love their movies, but realistically, I like they spin-off TV series like Loki. I'm waiting on season 2 of Dead and WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier and stuff like that. That's what I'm waiting on. I feel like after Thanos and Endgame, who else is there left to be? I saw the Eternals, and I'm debating if I want to go see Doc Strange too. But honestly, I'd rather see their TV shows versus their movies.
Okay. So what you think, Zell?
I think they need to cut it. They need to quit. They need to give it a break because right now they have been bombing. Now I won't lie, they do got their good moments. I like Logan. Yeah, that was cool. But Wonder Vision, it had its ups and downs. First of all, it was like a roller coaster that took forever to get to the peak. It took a long ass time for us to actually get the actual vision of what the hell was going on in Wonder Vision.
But I
And
like that though. That's what made it fun. The roller coaster. I enjoyed that.
see,
Yeah, but I also see Zell's point though. It's like, yeah, like, we don't need to rush into, the big climax, but we also don't need to take forever to get to that
yeah,
said climax.
yeah, we don't need to tiptoe towards the damn thing. We just need to just run at it. We already know what Wonder is capable of. So for them to bomb up that little slow climactic rise to what she really had done, kind of point.
And then also to this point about should they take a break, like after, they did Endgame and they, fought Thanos and everything, it's like what other Marvel hero or like IP would really be as hype as Endgame, like universally, because universally everybody that was a Marvel fan was hyped for Endgame, and that was like they top movie ever. Like it grows like $1 billion or something like that. So it's like, is there anything left that they could actually do that would even come close to that amount of hype? Because it wasn't
Uh,
Morbius. Because I didn't heard that was dog shit.
Here's the thing: it is other ones, but it depends how they want to take the story. We had a build up for Endgame to where it led off, where we finally got to that fucking cliff and decided to just, you know what, let's dive and see where it goes. Okay, cool. Depending on what story they run with, like they're doing with Spider Man, they're trying to run up this like a spider web connecting each piece of the story, trying to make it all fit well. They adding their own little piece and bit to it every so often. If they pick another hero, for instance, let's see who could we get in? Like you said, Cyborg.
True.
If
But
they could
Cyborg is not Marvel though. That's straight up DC.
do that, I think. Uh,
But that kind of makes my point though. It's like they've kind of done, all of their main heroes. So it's like, what Marvel character
no,
would really, really
I'll
be
take that
that
back.
hype though?
Hmm, hmm.
See, this is why I said they should really just like slow down on their movie intake because after Doc Strange, you hype for it, but you're not really like
in it.
excited. You're not
Okay.
really like gunning to go see it because, like I said, I'm debating whether I want to go see it or not because after Spider-Man Far No Way Home, okay, we got that the multiverse was coming. Okay, cool, but what is the point at this right now? What's the point? The Eternals, that was it.
That was his own side little story.
It
It-
don't matter because my thing still remains. Where were y'all when Thanos was running around and killing half the population? Like, not even just the population, the whole entire universe. Where were y'all?
You heard what they said. They can't interfere with what's going on.
Yeah, but
And none,
here's the thing though. Like honestly, okay, follow me with this one. Like I'm not the biggest Marvel fan, so like if I get something wrong, please don't come at me. But I feel like the Eternals was like they released it at the wrong time. I feel like the Eternals was a prequel that they released after everything was done. Now it would have made sense to, in my mind at least, if they released the Eternals like before Endgame, like right after Infinity War, like as a prequel to everything that happens. If that makes sense. Because especially since they introduced what's his name? Thanos' brother. Like it seems like that was a prequel movie that they released too late. So now it's like nothing. It's like none of this makes sense because everything has already been done. So it's like what is even the point of y'all even being here? You see what I'm saying?
mhm.
See what I mean? Like, you have no reason to be here because, like, MK said, what would be your reason? Because they've already fought off Thanos. They've already revived everybody. And here it is, his brother is just coming in like, oh, I'm Thanos' brother. Hey, how you doing? Why are you here? Where were you at when your brother was rolling around, like, looking for the Infinity Stones? Where were you?
At this point, I feel like they probably are gonna shoot towards. Now, I wouldn't mind for them to tell a villain's arc story. I wouldn't mind that at all. I would
But
actually be quite
but the
because
point
we know about a hero.
But will they actually do that though? Because you got to remember, like, it's not just Marvel; it's Disney too. And Disney ain't gonna be releasing how can I put this? Like, I wouldn't see Disney releasing a really dark supervillain movie, if you know what I mean.
Not
I
really.
mean, I don't know. They gave us Cruella the villain. We know what she was all about.
But wait, are you talking about that like 100 Dalmatian movie?
Yeah,
Yeah,
But even that seemed watered down. Am I wrong?
it was watered down because Cruella has done some awful things to animals, and you can't really share that type of shit on Disney. Disney's about making kids happy and giving them happy endings when they
huh?
grow up. Yes, what
How
Disney
many?
movie you know is
How many
dark?
parachutes? See, all of them.
No, no, no,
I
no, no,
mean,
no, no, no. I know what Tim talking about. Like old Disney, yeah, that was dark. But this new Disney, they are not
Yeah,
about to make a movie about an animal abuser in 2022.
no,
That's
they are
not
not.
about to happen. Cause
That
imagine if they actually made. Cause in reality, she was killing dogs for fur. They're not about to put that on Disney Plus.
she wasn't just killing that. She was killing everything they had for.
That's what I'm
my point
saying.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Disney, when it comes to Marvel, when they want to make a villain movie, not in 2022. It's not gonna be dark how it was back then. Like back then in the late 90s, early 2000s, and stuff like that. Think about it. No way, the evil queen fell off a fucking cliff.
Cause they could get away with that back then. Cause like it's literally like I don't know how many YouTube videos about how dark them old Disney movies used to be. Cause even a Hunchback of Notre Dame, when the dude was on, I forgot his name, he was singing in front of the fireplace. You can't even
Yeah.
have a scene like that in a Disney movie anymore. People would lose their mind.
Oh Lord, Frodo.
Yeah, like when he
What
was
was his
singing that
name?
song. They are like they would lose their minds if a scene like that was in a Disney movie.
Like when Rapunzel came out, you didn't see the evil stepmom, die. You just saw her fall and all you saw was dust. You see what I'm saying? Like you can't do that with Marvel. You can't be dark like how those villains are really meant to be dark.
True.
And
So Marvel.
and then it's funny because that's also why I could never see them doing anything with Blade. Not
I,
besides the fact that Wesley Snipes is old, Blade was like a gory ass trilogy, and like they never gonna touch that.
Never. That's why I said that's why I agree with some of the people when they went to go see Morbius. I'll wait till it hit like DVD shelves and whatnot and probably buy it or probably just like rent it off Google TV if people still use that. But I don't want to see Morbius because what was his purpose of being here? Because who can he fight? Who is he saving? What is he doing?
What you think? This, Ozzy, what you think?
mm,
See?
I feel like they threw themselves in a rut here
See, that's
because,
why I
like I
said
said,
Marvel should take a break.
yeah, if it's not the bad guy they're gonna tell us about, then who else? Besides, they could give us a female Spider-Man.
But that's kind of what like we were talking about, before we started doing this. Like, how are they gonna like because T was telling us that that after No Way Home they were gonna go into Miles Morales, which is he is in Into the Spider Verse movie, and then and there you got Spider Gwen, but it's like do we really need more Spider Man after this? Like this was kind of like the icing on the cake for Spider Man. Like they brought back Toby, they brought back Andrew, and everything. It's like
For them
they
Andrew thing.
like they kind of they because like they kind of like not to sound nasty in them, like they kind of blew their whole load with Spider Man too.
Cause that was it. I mean, who is left? Because pretty much Tom has fought the big villain, Thanos. Toby has fought all his villains, and Andrew. Y'all don't cuff me for them comments, alright? But I ain't no big Amazing Spider-Man fan. Like
Andrew
I know
Garfield sucks.
for real. I like don't. You
Fight
know
me.
what?
Azale, do you agree with us?
He did his part, and he stepped to the side. Now, how they decided to try to milk it on No Way Home, it's kind of sucking on his own toe, but okay,
It is what
do
it
that.
is. You know what?
Andrew Garfield sucks. All of y'all can fight me.
Because at this point, do we need an Amazing Spider-Man? Like, did we? Did we really?
That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother video. Let's get back on track.
And that would conclude. Should Marvel take a break? So, in conclusion to that,
Oh
do
yes.
y'all do y'all think they should take a break?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, definitely. Because at this point, it's like after Doctor Strange 2, y'all need to ask yourselves, what do they have left that will genuinely get people excited, somewhat or near the level of Infinity War or Endgame? Because I don't see it. And I don't even really like superhero movies that much, but I don't see it. I just genuinely don't see it anymore. So Marvel should take a break.
And there we go. Everybody in agreement that Marvel should just really take a break. Just go sit down and count your money. All right. For the next topic, how many arcs should an anime have? And that includes like filler arcs and all that.
Hmm.
So,
That's a good ass question.
Zell, okay, what y'all think? How many arcs should an anime have before they
Um.
reveal, back to the storyline?
Um. Okay.
I can
Here.
run through this 20 seasons. I can run with 100.
Did you want to go first there?
That's my part. 120, maybe 130. I can keep up with. Right after that point, you kind of just dragging me along.
Okay. Okay. So here's my thing about it.
Okay.
As far as arcs in anime, I feel like depending on how good the story is, I give you 4 main story arcs and like 1 filler arc. Because after that, would kind of feel like you're dragging it. Because this might be wrong, but if I'm remembering right, in the original Naruto, when they were kids, it was about like 5 main story arcs, maybe more, and like what was it, like 3 filler arcs, I think, in original Naruto. Am I around the mark, y'all?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so like it was around that many in original Naruto, and we know how long that lasted for, and it's like they could have cut out, like one and a half, like maybe 2 filler arcs, and it still would have been fine. But I would give you 4 main story arcs and 1 filler arc, because after that, I feel like you'd be dragging it. So, T, what you think?
And I agree with y'all on that because, for example, the one that has more arcs than anything will probably be Bleach for me
Mm,
because when we were waiting after Aizen, revealed his true colors, and after that, it was just like arc after arc after arc, and I'm like, when are we gonna get back to like Aizen, the Arunkars, the Espadas? When are we coming back to that? It took forever for us to get to killing Aizen because I feel like after that, honestly, Ichigo losing his powers and then getting them back, that took long too. I couldn't sit that long. As much as I enjoyed Bleach and I love Bleach, don't get me wrong, I love Ichigo, but them arcs like the Bound arc, that could have stayed like where it was at
true.
because all these unknown people coming in, and I'm just sitting up here like, okay, what does this have to do with Aizen at the moment? How is this playing into us leading up to Aizen? None of this is making sense.
And then I'm not, I Bleach is old, and I got a not too much of a memory of it. But didn't Aizen like not really die? Cause like didn't the first time they like captured him or like killed him or whatever, didn't he break out of like prison or whatever?
No, they couldn't really kill him, so they sealed him up.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like the first time they
Yeah,
sealed him, like he broke out, and then they had to seal him back again.
yeah. So that's why I was just like, at this point, what are we doing with Bleach? What are we doing? Because I want to see the new arc, true, the 10,000 year blood war arc. I do want to see it, but at the same time, don't drag me out with it.
Yeah, that's true. Cause um I'm not too sure. Cause like a lot of times they'll just end up dragging it out. Like they'll take forever to like get to the point. Cause like the I don't know why I didn't think about this first time. DBZ did the same thing where the whole meme of them, powering up for like 3, 4, 5 episodes, and then just looking at each other for like another 7 episodes, and then they fight for like 20 episodes. Like DBZ did that too many times.
Like, Zell, what you think?
Now we know they're gonna drag it out. But some fact they're gonna do it for the audience. So they're gonna say they're doing it for the audience. Because the longer they drag it out, the more suspension it's gonna the more suspension it's gonna feel. The longer you're gonna stay tuned, the longer you stay tuned, the more you're gonna be willing to see.
But eventually, if you're doing it like that, you're going to lose your audience.
Depending on how often you give them what they want. Like for instance, every so often we start to fall less luster on their rating for Bleach when they finally went into the Hollow uh universe. Okay, cool. But when we start seeing them go after the Espada, okay, after they beat the first three Espadas, it was like, oh, okay, it's about as good as it's gonna seem to get. And then they threw it in half. It was like between the time it took him to be number four, they threw in hella fillers before they gave us that. But once they did give us that, They showed us, okay, he going for the next one. Now the big fight finna kick off after this. You might want to stay tuned.
See what I mean?
Until then, here goes some more filler.
That's true though, but it's like I'm gonna keep my example like DBZ or whatever, right? DBZ would always like their filler would either be Goku has to come back from the dead, or like they would just be powering up for like 3 or 4 episodes because like eventually it'll get to the point of like how much like is the suspense really worth it? Because like take for instance like in DBZ, when they was fighting Boo and he became Super Boo, right? We had all of that suspense for Gohan to come and whoop the shit out of Boo ass, right? We had
Yeah.
all that suspense, and the payoff was he gets absorbed. Like he had that whole
Yeah.
training arc, and they had the whole other arc where everybody else was fighting Boo, and they was getting beat up, and then it's like, oh, he punches him a couple of times and gets absorbed.
Yep.
Yeah, I was upset about that one.
So it's like I feel like the payoff has to be worth it for this suspense to be worth it. Because the payoff for that was not worth the suspense, bro. It just really wasn't.
No, it's not.
Cause that was just awful. I was rooting for Gohan. I'm like, oh, Gohan finna get his moment to shine at the Cell games,
And hey,
and then he got Aiden. Okay,
And,
never mind.
and you
Goku
want to know
couldn't
what's really fucked up about it? It's like people don't really seem messed up because it was in the Boot arc. But imagine if they did that in the Cell arc. He did all that to go Super Saiyan 2, and then Cell absorbs him.
And then look, whoops, here comes Goku.
Exactly. He came back from the dead again to save everybody.
Wow.
It would have been really shitty. So it's like you have to make the suspense worth it. Because the suspense isn't worth it, then this whole arc and training arc and filler arc was not worth it.
Because
it's
at
not.
this point, like to go with your example, when they was getting us ready for Dragon Ball Super, and then they gave us GT, and then turn around and said, "Oh, this is not canon," but mess around and said, "Oh, now it's canon. Now it's okay. Goku can go Super Saiyan 4 now. It's canon."
And only
Wow,
Goku can go Super Saiyan 4 because if you remember, Vegeta had to use that machine to go Super Saiyan 4 that Bulma made.
Yeah.
this this is some. See, DBZ got too much. That's why I said y'all got too many arcs, too many fillers. At this point, Goku gonna always win. I'm just
Basically.
I'm just done.
He's just as born as Superman.
Yep.
He is. I did look. Fight us in the comments. Goku just
Fight
need to
me.
go sit
Fight
down.
me. All of y'all, fight me. I will say
Like
that
go
until
sit
I'm
down.
gone.
Like go sit down, Goku. Retire. We love you. You started it all, but go sit down. At this point, go sit down. So we all in agreement that anime should have like fewer arcs, or at least a number of arcs.
All I'm gonna
It's,
say is depending on how. All I'm saying is depend. I'm gonna say it depends on how the story goes. Because if the story is good, then yeah, I wouldn't mind, a couple of more arcs to lead us on just a little bit. But if the story is bad, then just get to the point and just wrap it up. That's all I'm gonna say about it.
let me hit y'all with a. Let me hit y'all with an example. Okay, we all know Rick and Morty, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Rick and Morty did when it first started. It had a plan, but it did not have a plan. It was basically going episode by episode on random events, and we all tuned in for that. We was along with it, and every so often they'll throw in a little piece to where they start stitching together a backstory about it. Like, everybody had their own assumption of what was going on. They let the audience bring in their own ideas of what was going on for the show before they actually start putting in there, before they actually start stitching together a story. That was a beautiful cook right there. Now, if Dragon Ball Z would have did even a piece of that, it could have ran. It could have ran way better than it did right now.
You want to
It's
know what
fun.
you? I'm sorry to interrupt, but you want to know what made the Rick and Morty stuff more digestible?
Mm,
It was a comedy.
that
The fact that Rick and Morty was a comedy made that like story and whatever filler arcs they did have, and when they would drop in the little bits of the story about like evil Morty and all that, it made it
Mhm.
worth it because the overall point of the show was just to make you laugh and not to take them seriously. But go ahead with your point. I'm sorry to interrupt.
But, like, even with that, if Dragon Ball Z could have did, and they try to give us the comedy moment, they truly, they fall to the wayside every time.
But Dragon Ball Z, it's comedy in there, but you're mostly in it for the fight scenes
And that's why I said
and the villain.
that this thing, their fight scenes are good, but they lackluster. A fight scene ain't nothing without a good story.
True.
The story is nothing right now. Our story is everything.
But Dragon Ball Z has no story. It never
Oh,
had
it
no.
had a story.
It had a story. The story just wasn't good.
That is true. Sorry, my fault. I did forget that. They did have a story. But at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, Goku is going to win. The Earth will be saved.
And that's the story.
And that's it.
And that's why you go ahead and throw it in the hole is in and shovel it over.
Basically.
Pretty much.
This is where it lay. This is where it ended.
But that's it on how many arcs should an anime have. So we all in agreement that they should have a good amount or just depending on how the story goes.
Agreed.
Great. Alright. For our last topic of the day, y'all, is how many power ups should a character or a main character have?
Ooh, that's tough.
Honestly, I kind of got a definitive answer because,
Okay, I want to hear that. Go.
Me
okay,
too.
for the main character, I would give them max. Hear me when I say this max 5 to 7 max.
And why is that?
Because here's my thing. Okay, we're gonna go right back to DBZ because it's more along the fact that Goku he went from when he learned something new that it meant something to Goku just learned a new transformation. Oh, okay. Like Goku has had so many power ups at this point they don't really mean as much as they used to. Now take for example when Goku first went Super Saiyan and when he first time he went Super Saiyan 3 it meant something because he didn't have that much. And you think, okay, this is like his ultimate form. When he went Super Saiyan 3, this is like his ultimate form. He can't go past this point. But then they were like, okay, we're going to take it one step further. Now he's Super Saiyan 4. He has, completely different look. Like, he has red fur. His tail is back. All of that, right?
True.
But now it's got to the point to where in Super, he's went through so many transformations to where they don't mean as much as they used to. He's went Super Saiyan God. He's went Super Saiyan. He's went what was it like Rose or something like that. And
That
then
was
he
Black.
went and then he went Ultra Instinct. And it's like they didn't really mean as much as the other ones did. They weren't as hype as like Super Saiyan 3 or even when he first turned Super Saiyan to begin with.
Because he had a meaning, like, it's not iconic. It was
Yeah,
just
like
like,
it had a meaning because people are always saying like he said like he like Goku went like beyond. It became Ultra Instinct. He said that when he went Super Saiyan 3. He said this is to go even further. And then went Super Saiyan 3. That
and
was
that was
way better. Y'all can fight me for this, but this Super Saiyan 3 transformation was way better than Ultra Instinct by a mile.
because
It was
when
more
he
hype. I won't lie. It was more hype.
it was like because when he first went Super Saiyan, it was because his best friend for years they grew up together from Dragon Ball all the way to Dragon Ball Z. died in
That's it.
front of him.
We grew with them on that story. See, that's the story that actually had weight to it. When you walk with a
Exactly.
character through their through their journey, okay, cool. We know how this goes, and we know what you're feeling through. But
But that's what made him
super,
going
we're
Super
not
Saiyan.
really walking with them. We're getting dragged along.
But that's what we're saying. Like when it comes to like them having power ups, Goku going Super Saiyan because of Krillin and Super Saiyan 3 because of Majin Buu. That's like iconic. That's the many power ups he should have had because Super Saiyan 4 and Ultra Instinct and going Super Saiyan Blue and all that, it's just like, okay, Goku, he got power. Okay, he going to forever always have these power ups.
And you
You
want to
know,
know what's crazy? They will make something that's supposedly stronger than Ultra Instinct, I feel like.
You know they are.
yeah,
And like it goes back to my point is like the fewer powers that a character has, the more they mean something. Cause like take
listen,
for instance like Rock Lee, like I'm finishing my point. Like take for instance like Rock Lee, he doesn't know Genjutsu. He only know how to use Taijutsu, but that made him special. And his main power was the eight gates. But he's one of the most beloved characters of the whole show.
He
So
really is.
so take that what you will. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Zell. Go ahead.
I was finna say that. I was finna give the same example. Right? When a character has less to work with, but still manage to work everything around it to achieve your goal, it's awesome. It gives more to the character. For instance, Code Geass, he only had one power, but he managed to make that power work to his best ability. And he always moved pieces where he needed them to fit for his power. Not get a new power to add on to that. No, he just made other shit fit his power. That's what gives a power. It gives it respect. Because it ain't got to be the next level. It ain't got to evolve from what it is. It's being able to use what you got to the best of your ability to
So
achieve what you need.
So pretty much like Ichigo when he went hollow and learned how to control it and then came full bring and then like how many power ups did Ichigo have? Because I
Mm.
lost count probably what
He has every last person that has power on the show.
I don't think he got that much power.
He does.
Cause cause kind of like back to the Naruto comparison, Naruto got too many powers for me.
But all the main characters end up getting too much, like
Because
Luffy.
I feel like I feel like when Naruto was sort of at like not necessarily like a perfect balance, but at like a decent enough balance was like when he got Sage mode. I feel like that was sort of like a good balance with his stuff because he finally learned how to master the Toad summoning jutsu stuff. I feel like at that point he was at a good enough balance, but then literally randomly Kurama was like, "Hey, you want to use my power?" And now he's one of the strongest motherfuckers in the whole show.
Mm-hmm.
And it is his show.
I
Look,
know it's his show, but like take take for instance somebody like Sasuke, right? Like Sasuke was like the perfect example of like a good power progression. Cause like in the kids show, he didn't really have that much power. All he had was his base level Sharingan and base level Fire style Jutsus, and that was it. But in Shippuden, we see him learn and master the Chidori, and his Mangekyo Sharingan and Amaterasu, and eventually the Susanoo, and that was it. Sasuke doesn't have that many powers.
and the Rinnegan.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he doesn't have as many powers as Naruto, because the first time they fought when they was kids, Sasuke was getting his ass beat.
How? By who?
Naruto.
When?
The
When
first
they
time they
fought
fought in the first time they fought at the waterfall when they was kids.
at the Valley of the
Okay, yeah,
okay.
Sasuke was taking some L's, but in the end he was also giving.
That's
And
true.
I ain't
That
even gonna lie, I ain't a Sasuke fan at all.
I know, but like I'm saying, like if you think about it, if you think about it, like like Naruto, like when he went cloak in that fight, that's more scary. That was more powerful at its full form. That's more powerful than Sasuke's curse mark.
It
It
really
was.
was.
Because Sasuke didn't really master his curse mark until he grew up.
And then that's when, like, in Shippuden, they kind of made him like
They
his.
they gave him a power up because he learned the Amaterasu and the Susanoo. So
But yeah,
by the time they fought again, he was more on Naruto's level by then.
but yeah, let's just put the fact over here though. He was taking them L's in Shippuden because him going to that Hokage summit, he should have just stayed his ass home that day.
And that
But
further
he achieved what he came to do
true.
No,
with
But
the
that
little that he had.
that's what I said. I was like, that further proves my point of Sasuke has the perfect amount of powers because he didn't just go in there and steamroll the Hokages. He didn't. That he struggled a lot.
so pretty much just like Vegeta.
Basically, yeah. Like because Vegeta doesn't even have that many forms that he can naturally go into like Goku can. Because Vegeta has Super Saiyan 1, and isn't a is a Super Saiyan God.
Yeah,
Those are the main ones he can
and
go
Super
into.
Saiyan Blue and Super Saiyan True Blue,
Yeah, but that's
right?
what I'm saying. But like, even Vegeta needed Bulma's help to go into Super Saiyan 4. So
And Goku did that naturally.
yeah, so like Goku can go to all of his forms naturally. Vegeta can't. So it's like Vegeta has less powers than Goku does, and he has less special attacks than Goku does.
Very much true. And then you can say that for like all my Black Clover fans out there, like Asta and Asta here he is. He don't have no magic. He has anti magic, but he grinding his ass off. But here
Here's
comes
the thing. He
with
keeps
all these
evolving though.
new, huh?
He keeps evolving. Alright, he only had one sword to start with, and then he got taught by his teacher on how to basically fast step. Okay, cool. After that, they could have just left it there. Because now he's becoming a full demon. Demons have extra powers that technically defy all logic.
But he don't have that many power ups as has though.
True.
See what I'm
But
saying?
no,
Like
I think
he has
he
the right
does,
amount
but
of power.
he has the reverse form. For instance, he had the other guy has the form of light, so his power just keep changing and he keep adding more. Same to him. He don't have powers, but they keep adding him being able to do more shit without having power.
But he's grinding to get those though. So he has the right amount of power ups because it's coming. What I'm saying is when it comes to like power ups, when it
Mm.
comes to like the side character or the rival or the main character is always gonna have the more power ups than anybody else.
But that's the thing about it. When they started this show, it wasn't just one main character. It was
But
two.
can you really say is a main character because really the show is really revolving around
I
Asta
know. But he's also pulled into it at the same time. Like every time Naruto showed, we never forgot about fucking Sasuke. We never did.
because that's his rival.
Exactly.
That's the
He
point
was
of a
right there.
rival.
He was
Yeah,
they was dragging him right in the story like that. Okay, cool. If the show is about Naruto, I just need to think about Naruto. I don't care about his rival. Like, for instance, how Pokemon do. We don't know what the fuck his rival's doing. We just know he's there. And he pops up every so often. And
Yeah,
he
but
got little stuff.
Ash also has had like 20 different rivals though. So like if you only have one rival like in Naruto case, he only had Sasuke. So like they still had to focus on Sasuke because they were the two main characters, and he was the main arc of damn near the whole show until the end of Shippuden.
and you had to keep powering up Naruto and Sasuke because if you didn't, what would be the purpose of Naruto being this like overpowered main character and here go his rival and he's mopping the floor with him every time and Sasuke never advances.
Here's the thing. I would have loved to see Sasuke be able to show, be able to move little power with big result.
He
Like
did.
Naruto.
He did. He did that when they fought again in Shippuden. Like, even though Naruto had all the tail beasts, Sasuke was kicking his ass.
Not even that far. By the time Sasuke fought Itachi, he had major changes. Major. By the time he fought Itachi, he was already strong as fuck.
Even though he didn't win that fight, but
I'm saying he didn't win that fight, but he had already made hella progress even when he fought Itachi.
exactly.
Because by the time he fought Killer B, he was already using Amaterasu.
And when he got, that's what we were saying. Like, when it comes to power ups, how many should they have? And Sasuke had the right amount, but here comes Naruto, always having more and more and more. And it's like, why at this point? How many power ups do you need?
I still stick by my number 5 to 7.
I'd say at least, I won't say 5 to 7. I'd say 5 to probably 5 to 6. That should be enough.
I give 3.
3 major power ups. That's it.
If you get the right 3, or at least even a. Here's the thing. If you get 3 powers, and you got the smarts on how to use them, on what they're capable of, you should be able to pretty much overturn most situations.
That makes sense because like the power ups, like if you only give them 3 power ups and they mean a lot, then they'll work. Cause like you take a character like Neji, for example. He didn't really get that many power ups, but whenever he did, they meant something. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or have y'all seen the rising of the Shield Hero?
No.
Yeah, I read
Okay.
it, but I ain't seen it.
Okay, like, you know how his shield has like all this power, but it's still not the most powerful thing out there.
Yeah,
Yeah, kind of like that. I say give, like, when it comes to the main character for his power ups, I would say give him like M MK say. Give them probably like 5 to 7, but when it comes to the rival, probably 5 or 6, give or take. And make them mean something, make them count for something. Don't just give them power up just because, oh, we have to make him the most OP character. Make it have a meaning behind of why he has to have this power.
true. Or at least put a cap on it, like he can only use it as certain things. Like like for instance, if they were to put it to where uh Goku can only use his god form in front of other gods, okay, cool. That'll make it more worrisome. But then he goes and fight Frieza with it. What? When
Yeah,
did Frieza jump by the level with it?
they shouldn't
Or
have. They shouldn't have brought back Freeze in the first place. But go ahead.
really,
Hmm.
but for my hero fans, we all know that Midoriya has like is the ninth wielder of One for All, and he has mastered all the other wielders, quirks amongst his own. And he here he is. He has like 8 different wielders that he's using, but the second wielder is like you can't. Sorry for spoiling for those who don't know. The second wielder is like, hey, you use my quirk for a last resort because it's been powered over the years through the many people who's had this quirk. So use mine as a last resort. Don't you use me for nothing else but a last resort. That's what I mean by like power ups.
That sounds fine with me.
Yeah, I respect that.
I mean, cause
It's
As
just
long
it just doesn't need to get to the point to where everybody is this overpowered flying god thing, like a lot of animes end up becoming Naruto. Um, I'm just saying, like that's what happened. Cause like they used to be ninjas, but now they all can fly and shit, and it's just like really.
Another thing is that, like I said, if they go give him all those powers, put a cap on. He can't use his power unless certain circumstances have to be in.
Yeah, like sort of how like with the eight gates with Lee and Guy, like if they go
Mhm.
to the eighth gate, they die.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you start dying quick. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
but it's like if Naruto uses his ultimate shit, he can like he's like, oh shit, I'm fine.
My nigga's just standing in the sun. Like, yep.
And
Yeah,
basking in it and just basking in like, I made it. It's cool.
yeah, and he's
Cause
just
I'm
standing there, all peachy king. But like when Guy was trying to beat Madara, he turned into a fucking dust mite.
hmm
But like Naruto does it, it's like, oh, I just lost the arm, it's fine, I'm still alive.
you
hmm
know, them Hashirama cells be coming in handy and shit.
Yeah, and then he got his arm back. Like what the fuck?
He got a duplicate on.
Yeah, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
Like Hashirama, your cells come in handy for a lot of stuff, my guy. They need to
You know what's
dispose them
crazy?
nigga cells.
You know what's crazy? They regenerated a lot of people. I mean, throughout the show, people have regenerated a lot of fucking limbs, especially our main nigga, uh, Orochimaru. Tell me, Orochimaru couldn't get Naruto an arm? Like,
I wouldn't
this
trust
man literally.
Orochimaru to give
I
Naruto an
really
arm.
wouldn't. I was gonna say like this is Orochimaru we
Cause
talking about.
Orochimaru is not human.
Okay, I take that back. Chill, Orochimaru. Give him an arm.
No!
I mean, still,
Why? Why
It's
would you even
It's
want to
still
go through?
Orochimaru.
I know it's Orochimaru, but still,
No!
everything he makes is effective and powerful. Two, I can see him actually giving him something that'll be useful as well.
No, no, no,
No,
no, hold on now. It's still Orochimaru, but and this is still the same dude who tried to kill you. Like, it's just like, think about it like this. It's just like, if, like, take for instance, like, you a kid and shit, you in school and shit, and you get to fight, and some dude beat the shit out of you, but then you get older, it's like, and he offer you fight lessons. Are you gonna take them fight lessons?
no.
Nah.
That's what I'm saying. Like he tried to like if I'm Naruto, this man tried to kill me multiple times and tried to destroy my whole fucking village, and he took my best friend away and tried to absorb him and shit. I'm not taking shit from him.
No. It's like Sakura and still being in love with Sasuke.
Tim,
Throughout
Tim,
all,
Tim,
throughout
Tim,
all.
T, don't do this. 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 This episode will be 2 hours long. Do not do this. Do not do this. Zell, stop her. Nigga, stop.
I was just saying that's an example right there.
T, shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
Sometimes you just gotta let that bomb roll.
We will be here all day.
No, we will not because I'm sticking a pin in it right now. So no, that's just no. We gonna leave that alone.
That will be his own video. I don't care how long it'll be. It'll be his own video.
Oh, we talking about those next.
But when it comes to power ups for the rival, I say at least 5 or 6, give or take. And for the main character, I agree with Mick. Give him about like 5 or 7. And I agree with Zell. Just top it off when you done. Don't give him no more.
We all in agreement here?
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Totally agree.
Alright, y'all. That'll wrap up episode 2. Thank y'all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Leave your suggestions down below if you have any suggestions on what we should talk about next episode. And we'll see y'all next week.
Peace out.